Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to McMaster University and to L.R. Wilson Hall, certainly an appropriate venue for the announcements we're making today. I am so excited that we're able to do this in person, I can't tell you. We have gathered this afternoon on the traditional territories of the Mississauga and Haudenosaunee Nations within the lands protected by the Dish with One Spoon Wampum Agreement. This acknowledgement is, of course, only a small step on our shared path of reconciliation. Each of us has a role to play in fostering reconciliation among the many peoples that inhabit these lands. My name is Debbie Martin. I'm the Acting Vice President of University Advancement here at McMaster University, and it's a true privilege to be part of an event that will celebrate a new and remarkable gift from one of our university's most accomplished alumni, dedicated volunteers, and generous philanthropists. In concert with that announcement, we will also explore the vision and plan for this initiative that this gift will make possible. This is a landmark moment for McMaster, and we are honored that you are here to share it with us this afternoon. Before I invite our first speaker to the microphone, I would like to acknowledge that our audience today includes a number of special guests and senior McMaster leaders. I would like to begin with a very warm welcome to three people in particular by acknowledging Red Wilson and Brenda Wilson, and from the Wilson Foundation, Peter Sharp. We are also very pleased to be joined by members of the Wilson family, Red and Brenda's son, Edward, and daughter, Jennifer, and their families. Thank you for being here today. I'm also very pleased to welcome President Emeritus Dr. Alvin Lee. Also joining us is McMaster Board of Governors Chair Jane Allen, along with other board and Senate members. And finally, special thanks to my vice president colleagues, deans, and other McMaster senior leaders who have joined us today. Our program begins this afternoon with Dr. David Farrar. Dr. Farrar is the president and vice chancellor of McMaster University and a faculty member in the Department of Chemistry and Chemical Biology. Dr. Farrar took up the position of acting president in July of 2019, having served as provost and vice president academic since October 2017. He was appointed president of McMaster University in December 2019. I would now like to invite David to the stage.
Thank you, Debbie, and thank you all for joining us here this afternoon. We were honored to announce this transformational gift last week, but I can't tell you what a tremendous pleasure it is to celebrate here with you today and to recognize the extraordinary contributions of a great Canadian and one of McMaster's greatest champions, Lynton R. Red Wilson. Part of what's so remarkable about philanthropy is seeing the impact that it has on our students. And so I'd like to introduce the McMaster Concert Band, comprised of some of our very talented students. The band is celebrating its 25th anniversary, and I'd like you, as the band performs, to just watch the screen behind them. So please join me in thanking the McMaster Concert Band and extending a special thanks to the musical director and faculty member, Joe Resendez. What an incredible day for McMaster. $50 million to establish Wilson College of Leadership and Civic Engagement. What can I say? Another round. Red, over the past year, it's been a great pleasure of having a number of conversations with you, thought-provoking conversations with you about leadership. You've always talked about the role a president needs to play, and I want to thank you for your forward-looking vision, and thank you for the gift. I'm really looking forward to working with my colleagues to make this a reality. I've often heard Red say that great leaders have a deep understanding of the past and a vision to anticipate where we're going. It's a concept in leadership that I find compelling, and one that certainly applies to Red and the example that he's set throughout his life. Red has been a visionary leader and an integral part of the university community for almost 60 years. Actually, I guess a bit more than 60 years. First, as a McMaster graduate, and then as our chancellor, a role in which he gained a deep understanding of our institution, forged important connections with our faculty and students, and provided McMaster with invaluable counsel and perspective. Over the years, Red's vision and his philanthropic support have been instrumental in supporting a shared commitment to providing students and scholars with opportunities to explore Canadian history and to cultivate a new generation of leaders. His impact has been substantial. The L.R. Wilson Institute for Canadian History, the L.R. Wilson Chair in Canadian History, L.R. Wilson Hall and the beautiful space that we're in now, the Wilson Leaders Program, the Socrates Program, and the Future of Canada project. Red has supported McMaster's ambition to educate and develop leaders who will be able to learn from the past, connect with communities, and understand and anticipate the complex challenges facing Canada now and in the future. This afternoon, we're here to celebrate a new milestone in Red Wilson and the Wilson Foundation's extraordinary support for our scholarship, learning, and leadership at McMaster. A $50 million gift to support the development of Wilson College of Leadership and Civic Engagement at McMaster. The first college of its kind in Canada, Wilson College supports McMaster's vision of developing students into leaders who are ready to tackle Canada's most pressing issues, help solve global challenges, and build a more just and positive future for our country. The college will provide students with the theoretical and practical knowledge of leadership, civic engagement, and cultivate forward-looking leaders. These leaders will work across Canada and beyond in the public service, the private sector, and civil society to foresee critical issues, shape policy, and contribute to the public discourse for a greater good. As members of a living, learning community, students, scholars, and other partners engaged in the work of Wilson College will share a commitment to active citizenship. Students will work and live together in a shared community that encourages collaboration in learning, research, and engagement with the world around us. It's an innovative model of learning and scholarship, very much in keeping with McMaster's long history of educational excellence and innovation, and our deep commitment to advancing societal health and well-being. This gift knits together Red's tremendous legacy of giving with a deep belief that developing great leaders is key to a more hopeful, prosperous, and forward-looking Canada. It's a vision McMaster shares, and one that will help make our university a premier destination for leadership education that is grounded in history and focused on nurturing future leaders so that they can have a transformative impact on Canada and the world. This is an extraordinary gift from an extraordinary leader and a great Canadian who wants the very best for our students and our country. We are grateful for this outstanding vote of confidence in McMaster and in our ability to develop the kinds of leaders Canada and the world need. Thank you, Red.
Thank you, David. It is now my pleasure to introduce McMaster's Provost and Vice President Academic, Dr. Susan Tai. Susan joined McMaster in July of 2020 after serving as Deputy Provost at the University of Waterloo. Dr. Tai is a civil engineer, earning her Bachelor of Science in Chemical Engineering from Queen's University and PhD in Civil Engineering from the University of Waterloo. Please welcome Dr. Tai to the podium.
Thank you, Debbie, and good afternoon, everyone. And of course, thank you to Red Wilson and to the Wilson Foundation. It is wonderful to look around the room and see so much optimism as we gather to celebrate our shared vision coming to fruition, a vision of developing outstanding young leaders who will go on to strengthen our societies. As an institution, McMaster University is committed to applying our collective skills, knowledge, and understanding to improve the world. We know that it takes collaboration and a clear vision to successfully address the big challenges we face. Thoughtful and strategic leadership are essential. Leaders bring people together and provide focus. The Wilson College of Leadership and Civil Engagement will create a home to be a beacon for emerging leaders to develop critical skills and abilities they will need to make a positive and transformational impact on local, national, and global communities. I am happy to share this with you today, this inspiring vision that Red Wilson had and working so closely with Peter Sharp from the Wilson Foundation. It really is an opportunity, and a number of McMaster leaders, including our president, David Farrar, and our deans of humanities, Pamela Sweat, and social sciences, Jerry Hurley, to bring this initiative from an idea to reality. In creating the only program in Canada focused exclusively on leadership and civil engagement, I believe we are contributing to the improvement of our society at a time when there is a need for unity and a need for leaders to have the courage to dismiss superficial solutions and tackle complex problems. McMaster is uniquely positioned to host this kind of program. We have a track record of innovation and teaching and learning excellence. We also have a campus community built around inclusivity that increasingly mirrors the diversity of our Canadian society, in addition to being a world-class research institution. McMaster University has long been preparing students who are capable of adapting to economic, political, and social forces. Wilson College will be built on the existing academic units and initiatives on our campus that inspire students to become engaged citizens. This includes the Foresight Lab, McMaster Indigenous Research Institute, Wilson Institute for Canadian History, the Future of Canada Project, and the Institute on Ethics and Policy for Innovation, the Digital Society Hub, and so many others. Wilson College will have 5 pillars that will create a new model for teaching and learning in leadership and civil engagement. First, Wilson College will provide exceptional educational programs, beginning with Canada's only honors BA and minor in leadership and civic studies. It is designed to evolve and include graduate programs in the future. Our interdisciplinary curricula will also emphasize experiential learning and research opportunities. Our student cohorts will draw on national and international candidate pools supported by both new and established scholarship programs. Second, the new Wilson Chair in Leadership and Civic Studies will lead the college's research pillar by working with McMaster faculty, visiting scholars from public, private, and community sectors. Their work will advance our understanding of civic studies while simultaneously contributing to the student experience. The third pillar of practice, the point where we connect our learning and research directly to our communities near and far, through students and faculty with government, business, and civil society organizations. Our initiatives will include a robust internship program and civil engagement opportunities. As our fourth pillar, Wilson College intends to have an impact on public discourse and debates. College faculty, fellows, and students will organize high-profile public lectures and dialogues, engage with media, and host the new Wilson Commentaries annual public lecture series. The fifth and final pillar will be the creation of a unique student residential experience known as Wilson College, which will be McMaster's first residential college. By housing first-year students together, we will create a physical community that supports the scholarly activities of the college. To Red Wilson and the Wilson Foundation, thank you. The impact of your generous gift will be felt by our students and faculty, and by many organizations and communities that will serve across Canada and beyond. As Provost, it is a privilege to welcome the Wilson College of Leadership and Civil Engagement to our campus, and an honor to help develop our students into future leaders who will shape our civil society and build a prosperous, resilient Canada for all. At this time, it's a wonderful chance to hear from one of our student leaders. I'm pleased to invite McMaster's President of the McMaster Student Union, Simranjit Singh, to speak. Thank you very much.
Thank you for the wonderful introduction, Dr. Tai, and good afternoon, everyone. So I will say this is one of the type of announcements that makes me almost want to re-enroll in my first year. One of the traditional views of the student experience at any university, not just McMaster, is that you go to classes, you go to labs, tutorials, and these are the opportunities in which you actually develop knowledge, expertise, or credentials in your area of interest. However, you then look to extracurricular opportunities such as clubs, committees, or even student politics to actually develop leadership skills. This gift from Mr. Wilson and the Wilson Foundation, along with the launch of Wilson College, will create an amazing opportunity to develop and deliver the greatest masterclass in leadership that any student could hope to experience. This is going to set McMaster apart. It's going to attract even more incredible students to Mac. And most importantly, it's going to equip more and more Mac grads with the ability to, in fact, lead and change the world to become a better place. This is a big moment for our university and for all of our future students. Mr. Wilson, thank you for this incredible gift and for giving Mac students a powerful and remarkable resource to make an extraordinary impact on our society. As a recent graduate of the Biomedical Discovery and Commercialization Program, and which is also part of the Bachelor of Health Sciences, I've had the privilege of being part of two amazing programs that are acclaimed and are in very innovative spaces as well. I know that the Wilson College will soon take its place on that list of high profile, high innovation, and high impact programs at McMaster. Thank you once again, and congratulations.
Thank you, Susan, and thank you, Sim. Here at McMaster, and particularly in this building, our next speaker needs little introduction, but I'm going to give it a try. Lynton Red Wilson has 2 McMaster degrees, an honors BA in economics that he earned 60 years ago, and an honorary Doctor of Laws degree he received in 1995. He has been McMaster's Chancellor, the chair of the Changing Tomorrow Today campaign, and going way back, a 2-time intercollegiate tennis champion and the president of Whidden Hall. A longtime and accomplished leader both in our country's public service and private sector, he is an officer of the Order of Canada, the recipient of the Vanier Medal for Public Service. He is also one of a handful of philanthropists whose generosity and vision have refined our university's trajectory into the 21st century. Almost exactly 60 years ago, McMaster published the 1962 edition of our yearbook, The Marmor. In it, Lynton Ronald Wilson of Port Colborne, Ontario, offered this quote from Alfred Lord Tennyson: "To strive, to seek, to find, and not to yield." Red, it is safe to say that you have satisfied all 4 goals of that line from Ulysses. I also believe the person you are today would have made that young man from 6 decades ago very, very proud. Everyone, please help me welcome Lynton Red Wilson.
Wow. Thank you very much, Debbie, for that very generous introduction. In addition to the Wilson Foundation directors that are here that were mentioned earlier, we have a 4th, and that's David Mass, who actually looks after most of our legal and accounting affairs, which is why he's important to this gathering at the university. I'm delighted, by the way, that 2 of my children are here with Brenda and me, and almost all of their children. And it's nice to see what the next generation, beyond the one next to us, might look like and how it's going to unfold. So I'm delighted to see you all here. Thank you for coming. The late American journalist and satirist H.L. Mencken once gave us a simple line that describes the effort of solving our society's greatest challenges. Mencken wrote, quote, "There is always a well-known solution to every human problem. Neat, plausible, and wrong." Unquote. For millennia, we have understood that leaders and leadership often hold the keys to unlocking the potential of individuals, organizations, nations, and societies. At the same time, we have left the identification and development of leaders to processes that are, more often than not, simply the neatest and most plausible. Now, at a time when we need more effective leaders than ever before, I believe it is time to push for a reinvention of the way we prepare our future leaders. That is why I wanted to be a part of this new College of Leadership and Civic Engagement here at my alma mater. With the onset of the pandemic a couple of years ago, I had a chat with Len Waverman, then the Dean of the DeGroote School of Business, about the direction and magnitude of changes affecting the Canadian and international business communities, and how these changes were influencing the programs of the school. I mentioned Walter Gretzky's advice to his son Wayne, to always go to where the puck is going, not where it's been. With the support of the McMaster Wilson Foundation Future of Canada project, Len subsequently established the Foresight Lab to help get ahead of the elusive hockey puck that is education in the realm of business and the economy. Today, we are bringing a similarly anticipatory approach to teaching, learning, and research as they relate to leadership. During the past few years, the issue of leadership seems to have emerged front and center, not only in business, but for nations, communities, education, and truly in all the ways we communicate, work, and play. Our ability to lead, manage, and navigate in these unpredictable times is being strained. But while the conditions and demands of leadership change, the goal of leadership remains constant. Leadership is about setting goals and achieving them. It's ultimately about getting things done and about winning. But getting a precise handle on where the puck is heading is not always easy. This is the challenge to leadership and management at every level in every type of organization. The challenge is predicting and preparing for a future we cannot know until it happens. Today, our leaders are tested by the cycles of catastrophe tearing at the fabric of our society, allowing cynicism, inertia, and negativity to gather momentum. There's no precise formula for the kind of leadership that can succeed and excel in this context because different situations call for different qualities. But in my 50 years of service in the public and private sectors, and lately my philanthropic efforts, I've observed that the best leaders display personal integrity, resilience, broad vision, conviction, concern for others, passion, a willingness to listen, openness to collaboration, and the abilities to communicate clearly, contextualize, compare, and learn. The late James Friedman, a former president of the University of Iowa and Dartmouth College, suggested a similar definition of the qualities of leadership when he wrote, and I quote, "A liberal education seeks to strengthen students' capacities to deal with the world's and the nation's agendas, to expand their horizons, enrich their intellect, and deepen their spirit. It asks them to accept responsibility for their actions and for the welfare of others." Recently, in Canadian historian Margaret Macmillan's review of Henry Kissinger's book titled Leadership, 6 Studies in World Strategy, she defined the elder statesman's concept of leadership this way, and I quote, "Good leaders have a deep appreciation of the past and an ability to imagine future possibles." In other words, leadership is anticipation. Canada needs leaders who care about the future and are able and willing to shape it more positively and devote themselves to creating true progress, stability, prosperity, safety, fairness, and justice. We need leaders who can restore our belief in the possibilities Wilfrid Laurier saw in 1904 when he predicted that Canada would be a beacon of progress for the next century. We need these leaders in our families, communities, classrooms, institutions, businesses, and governments. I'm delighted that the Wilson Foundation, having concentrated on supporting education, history, heritage, and public service, is now making its largest ever philanthropic investment to support McMaster University as it establishes a new college focused on developing hopeful, ambitious leaders who can take what they learn in their chosen fields of study, combine that expertise with the leadership qualities they develop and the experiences they acquire through their interactions with real-world problems to become the insightful, inventive, inspirational, and successful leaders our society requires. It will be our job to provide guidance when it's helpful, engagement when it's useful, and encouragement every step along the way. This is important work. I'm proud to be part of it and proud to support McMaster in this endeavor. Thank you very much.
Wow, that's hard to follow. Thank you, Red. I know you have heard from people at McMaster say thank you so many times for so many things, including your leadership, your volunteering, and your generosity. But I hope you also know that we have a deep appreciation for and take great inspiration from the quality and depth of the ideas that clearly drive your commitment to McMaster. Your comments this afternoon simply add to that legacy, so thank you. Now I would like to invite our two deans who have been the most engaged in the development of the plans for the Wilson College of Leadership and Civic Engagement to say a few words of thanks as well. We will hear from Dr. Jerry Hurley, who's the Dean of the Faculty of Social Sciences, and then from Dr. Pamela Sweat, McMaster's Dean of Humanities. Jerry and Pamela.
Thank you, Debbie, and thank you, Red. A gift like this, supporting the bold, forward-looking plan for Wilson College, tempts one to view it as a moment, as a dramatic leap forward, a break with the past. And indeed, it is that in certain respects. But it also builds on and extends a long-term vision and commitment by our university, by the faculties of Humanities and Social Sciences, and by Red Wilson and the Wilson Foundation. And together, we've been investing in innovative interdisciplinary programs in the liberal arts for 2 decades. This building, in which we celebrate this latest gift of the Wilson Foundation, is perhaps the most visible physical manifestation of that. But alongside this physical manifestation has been multiple initiatives, such as the Future of Canada Project, Socrates, and the Wilson Leaders Program, which have built a critical mass of programs, expertise, and experience, which have brought us to this remarkable investment in developing leaders at McMaster focused on civic engagement. We now embark on launching Wilson College, specifically designed to develop students who will shape Canada's future, to creating a learning environment that provides the concept, skills, and experiences to equip them to be leaders capable of building the best possible version of our society. Thank you, Red, for entrusting us with the privilege of pursuing such a worthy and ambitious goal. Pamela?
Thank you, Jerry. When you're developing something called a College of Leadership and Civic Engagement, there are some fundamental assumptions that serve as the foundation for that effort. The first, and most important, is that quality leadership and active civic engagement are central, I'd say irreplaceable, ingredients in the maintenance and progress of our democratic society. If we need proof of that principle in action, we have all the proof we need in the example of Lynton R. Red Wilson. For the last 6 decades, he has been an engaged leader in both the public and private sectors, a volunteer, a philanthropist, and a champion for higher education as a public good. Red is a Canadian who has long embraced the knowledge that service is at the heart of leadership. If we're going to build and sustain a healthy, democratic society, we need as many Red Wilson-style leaders as we can get. So there's no more fitting connection between a donor and a project than between Red Wilson and the College of Leadership and Civic Engagement that bears his name. Thank you, Red, for your generosity, but mostly for your example. It will be an honor to build the college, develop its academic programs, and steward its legacy in a way that will make you proud. Now, Red, if you could join Jerry and me at the podium, we have a gift to present to mark this auspicious occasion. And Brenda, we're also delighted to present you with a bouquet of flowers as a small gesture of our thanks.
Go around to the center.
Yeah, let's do that.
So thank you, Jerry and Pamela, and thanks once again to Red and to the Wilson Foundation for this transformative gift that builds on a remarkable legacy of generosity, diverse impact, and difference-making projects here at McMaster. The sketch that you saw presented to Red today is a beautiful rendering of the sketch that was on the screen of the building. The sketch was done by Emily Kester. She's a 2019 graduate from the Faculty of Humanities Studio Arts program. Emily also did a sketch of the L.R. Wilson Hall that we presented to you when this building was opened, so same artist. It's going to be exciting to watch the Wilson College of Leadership and Civic Engagement become one of the defining aspects of the McMaster character in the months, years, and decades to come. Thank you so much. That concludes the formal part of our program this afternoon, but we hope that you'll all spend some time with us at the reception that we have prepared just outside the concert hall in the Waller family lobby. Thank you so much for being here to share in such an important day in the evolution of McMaster University and in the ever-expanding legacy of one of the giants of the McMaster community. Please enjoy the reception and have a great afternoon. Thank you, everyone.